Alright, so this isn't called the OnePlus 8 Pro because it's like meant for professionals or anything like that. It's more of a term used to say that this is the most advanced complete flagship of a phone that OnePlus has ever created. And our little baby is all grown up now. But for real though, we have a Snapdragon 865 processor, 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, wireless charging, dual stereo speakers, an in-display fingerprint sensor, you know, the works. And yeah, it's a full-on flagship smartphone, and with that comes flagship pricing. This phone is $1,000. The fact that this company first started out selling the OnePlus One at $300, it's kind of crazy to think that we're here now at the top end of the pricing spectrum with the big dogs. But honestly, depending on your needs, you might be able to shave off a couple $100 by not getting this phone, but we'll touch on that in a little bit. I mean, hell, this thing has a 6.7-inch display with a Quad HD resolution and a 120 Hz refresh rate, which, yes, both of those options can be enabled at the same time. Amazing, right? As for the design here though, there's not much to see. I mean, it's reminiscent of many OnePlus phones before it, and that's just fine. I mean, it's glass and metal, matte finish on the back, curved glass over the edges. It looks pretty sleek, and I'm not surprised by this at all. It should look good, and it does, and OnePlus always does a good job with that. And on top of all of that, the OnePlus 8 Pro is IP68 dust and water resistant. Yes, we finally have it. Now, as for software performance in general, I mean, these things are it's 2020, you guys. Like, all these phones are just stupid smooth out of the box. Nothing is different here with the OnePlus 8 Pro. I mean, it just does its thing, and it does it pretty damn fast, if you ask me. But only time will tell if this is going to slow down. But OnePlus is always great with the software updates, and I really don't see this being an issue. But really, with the OnePlus 8 Pro, there are only a few things that make it stand out over previous models and its little brother, the OnePlus 8. First thing being the quad camera system. So our main shooter here is a 48 megapixel sensor with an aperture of f1.78 with optical image stabilization, and by default this thing spits out 12 megapixel photos from the sensor, but I've included both 48 megapixel shots and 12 megapixel shots of each photo in the gallery link below, and overall I was pretty impressed by the photos here. I mean, they look pretty damn clean in my opinion. You can check out those shots for yourself, like I said, linked below. And also, night shot is impressive as well, but it does fall short in some ways when compared to other 2020 flagships. We do have a 48 megapixel shooter with an ultra wide angle lens that has an aperture of f2.2, which does use some cropping magic to become a macro camera as well. Now, ultra wide shots look great out of here, given that you have nice lighting, there's no optical image stabilization, and the macro shots are pretty awesome here as well. I was actually quite impressed by all of that. Now, there's an 8 megapixel telephoto shooter and a 5 megapixel quote color filter camera, and they're both kind of useless in a lot of situations. So first off, you're not always using the telephoto lens on this camera. It's basically deciding for you whether or not it thinks the telephoto system will take a better shot than just cropping in on the main sensor. It's only 8 megapixels with the telephoto anyway, and it mostly comes out better from the main camera, in my opinion, at least. I mean, I don't know. Which one of these do you think is shot with the telephoto system or the main camera cropped in? Let me know in the comments section, and well, here's your answers. So like I said, it's going to be a small variable worth of a difference, but let's talk about that color filter camera, because from what I can tell, it's either completely useless, genius, or just meant to collect some data for filters, I guess, though I can only find one filter on the device that it actually works with at this time, being the photochrome filter, and that's the only one that I can see when I cover up the lens that is that color filter camera. It covers up the photo that I'm taking. All the other filters work just fine without it, so I'm not really too sure about that one. More time will tell, more use will tell. I've only been using this for a couple of weeks, so in comparison to the OnePlus 8, it offers a triple camera setup, and you're only really missing out on the telephoto lens and the arguably useless color filter option. So that's kind of one reason that you might want to pick the OnePlus 8 over the OnePlus 8 Pro. Now, as for video, there's no 8K recording here, and I'm not sure why we can't just have it, but they've omitted it. But we do get 4K 60 and below, so keep that in mind. And around the front side of the OnePlus 8 Pro, we have a 16 megapixel front-facing camera here with 1080p video. Next up on the short list of reasons to buy the OnePlus 8 Pro over the standard model is wireless charging. So this is Warp Charge 30 wireless, and it is stupid fast, going from 0 to 50% in 30 minutes wirelessly. Are you f***ing kidding me? It's just ridiculously fast, and it also does support standard wireless charging here as well, but screw that. Warp Charge wireless all damn day. With the wired version of Warp Charge, you can easily juice up from 0 to 50% in 23 minutes as well, which is pretty damn cool, and also offered on the standard OnePlus 8 model. Another thing here is the display and refresh rate. Yeah, sure, the OnePlus 8 Pro, it has a beautiful Quad HD Plus resolution, a 120 Hertz refresh rate, and it's like Jesus himself just came down and touched my eyeball. But with a 6.55-inch Full HD Plus resolution at 90 Hz on the OnePlus 8, I mean, that ain't bad either, especially given the minimal trade-offs to save $200. It might be a better buy for you, but it's that 120 Hz display, you guys. It's beautiful. Now, when it comes to battery life, I've had a pretty good experience here so far. Now, even with 120 Hz and Quad HD Plus enabled on the OnePlus 8 Pro, I can easily make it all day long, with both options seeing easily 6 hours of screen on time in my personal use, and with that number being even higher, bumping down either the resolution or the refresh rate. So here's the thing, I see both the OnePlus 8 Pro and the OnePlus 8 as great phones. I mean, they both kind of fit in a nice little niche. Now, they do also both support 5G, and there's a model launching on Verizon that supports the 5G ultra wideband. So if you have a Verizon account, you're a Verizon customer, you're about to be pretty happy because you can pick up a OnePlus 8 that just kind of works with everything on Verizon, which is kind of crazy and kind of cool at the same time. But I think that both of these phones are pretty damn solid. Now, the models that I have, they're the top tier models. So we have the OnePlus 8 Pro here with 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, coming in at just shy of $1,000, $999. And we have the OnePlus 8 in the top tier specs, coming in at $799. Now, that's no joke, especially, like I said, for a company that started out selling phones at $300 a pop. But I think that they're both great. I think that you might be able to save some money if you go with the OnePlus 8, and you probably won't be disappointed with that choice either. I think that the OnePlus 8 is a pretty solid phone. You're not missing out on photo quality. You're getting still very nice hardware. You're missing out on wireless charging, a couple of dinky cameras, and the display panel is going to be different, obviously, there. But I don't know. Let me know what you think about the OnePlus 8 Pro and, well, the OnePlus 8 in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. And if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when new videos like this drop in the near future. So thank you. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this review. I really do appreciate it. This is Dom, and I will catch you in the next video.